Hello, sports fans. King Icheboo coming to you live. First day of the King Icheboo Sports Network. We're going to play some baseball. The date is September the 1st, 1979, and we're going to play some baseball. And then we are going to talk a little bit about college football because, the first week of September is when college football begins. And then we have a very special event for you at the end. Tomorrow, of course, is the beginning of the National Football League season. Actually, it started today, but it was one of the most poor matchups you can ever have. The Detroit Lions, who are one very pathetic team. I didn't even mark it down. I played it, but I didn't. Here, I got to copy it over. They played the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who are normally one of the most pathetic teams, but they're getting better. They're in their third season in the league, and they have very good defense, -3. And so they won the first game of the NFL season by a score of 23-6 over Detroit. And the real score was 31-16. So the point differential was very, very close to the real thing. I'm just going to move over Detroit, their score over here. There we are, 23-6. They lose. They're 0-1 to start the season. And they have an away loss. And then you go points for, they had 6, and points against 23. Just that keeps, so I go over here to the standings. Well, I'll do Tampa's first. Cancel. Tampa's first, and they have a home win. And they scored 23 points and gave up 6. And you can see here how they scored their touchdowns. They had 2 touchdowns, both rushing, one by Ricky Bell and one by Jerry Eckwood. And then the kicker, Bob Thomas, had 2 field goals and 2 point afters. So that was the point scoring for Tampa Bay. For Detroit, their kicker by the name of Benny Ricardo, Ricky Ricardo's cousin, he hit 2 field goals. That was all their scoring. So now that, did I put it over here? I think I did, yes. So now when we go to the standings, we can see the standings, and hopefully it worked. Yep, you can see here Tampa Bay is 1-0, and their point differential is 23-6, and Detroit is 0-1, point differential 6-23. So we will get full force to give you a little taste of what games we're going to play tomorrow. On September the 2nd, 1979, Baltimore is not a very good team. We probably won't play this one on the air. Baltimore, Kansas City, neither one of those 2 teams is very good. Buffalo, Miami, I think that's a good matchup. We'll probably play that one. We will not play this one tomorrow. New England and Pittsburgh. I want to hear an uproar from the East, from the New England. No, the reason is because it's Monday night. We're going to play that the night after on Monday Night Football. Then the Jets. The Jets host the Cleveland Browns. That's a good matchup. We'll play that one. Cincinnati is a terrible team. They're playing Denver. We probably won't play that one. Houston Oilers, Washington Redskins, a very good matchup. We'll probably play that one. Oakland Raiders face the Rams. That's an excellent matchup. So here's another really good one. San Diego, who probably has the best ratings of any team in 1979. They are an exciting team. And I remember pulling for this team, enjoying this team very much when I was in grade 9, 9th grade as you guys call it. We call it grade 9. I remember very much so enjoying, they were an exciting team. And my beloved Giants, they're at Philadelphia. They are bad. I don't know what their record was, but it wasn't good. And so they're probably going to lose to Philadelphia, who have a good team. Dallas, this will always be a good matchup. Dallas, they play St. Louis, who is even worse than the Giants, I think. Green Bay Packers take on the Chicago Bears. That's always a good matchup. We'll have to play that one. And Bears and Rams, we already talked about. LA Saints. The Saints play the Atlanta Falcons. That's a decent matchup. Perhaps we'll play that one. We can't play them all, or else we'll be all day. And we'll play some baseball. National League Baseball now. some pennant race. The Cubs are considered to be in the pennant race. They've had an unbelievable season. But at this point, see, they're only 6.5 games back of Pittsburgh, which is quite the feat. They played way over their heads, but when it's September 1st on, they just basically collapsed. I don't know what their record was, but they won something like 8 games in the month, and they fell to 5th place from contending all year. So let's hope that doesn't happen in this replay. Montreal, Pittsburgh, we're definitely going to play those games, and Cincinnati and Houston. Houston, even though being -1 run differential, they are half a game out of first place. They were one of the interesting stories of 1979. We always talk about the music. The number 1 song in America in September 1st, on September 1st, 1979 is My Sharona. Yes, number 1 song, My Sharona, in case you're wondering. Number 1 movie is Alien. I'm sure you remember that one. Sigourney Weaver and the thing that pops out of the chest or the stomach. That's that movie. Okay, let's play some baseball. Let's play some Cubby baseball. The Cubs are in Los Angeles. That's where everything started to go south here. You see in real life, they lost all 3 games in Los Angeles. They went to the Cardinals, then lost 2 games in Cardinals. They went to Montreal. They lost those. So a 7-game losing streak basically done. So they only see, let's see how many wins they had there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I said 8. I lied. It was 9. I am sorry. Anyway, let's go to the Cubs and the Dodgers. Let's hope they win more than 9 games the rest of the year. The Cubs are O. An O rating offense. The Dodgers are P. They both have above average pitching staff, so they're -1. Dodgers have the slight edge. Dodgers, of course, are the National League defending champions, pennant champions, but they fell on hard times in 1979. They will rebound again and play in the playoff, 1-game playoff against Houston in 1980. But this year was really an off year, even though they hit a ton of home runs. Their pitching must have been a little bit off, and they finished well down in the standings. But here today, you can see the Cubs are rated O. Then you take in account the pitching of Los Angeles, which is -1. So they go from an O. That's why I like Excel. They have this thing here, so I don't have to guess my ABCs, which I learned when I was probably 4. But it's nice to see things on the screen. So O -1, it becomes an N. So they are, put caps lock on, an N. And Los Angeles starts as a P, and they go down 1 to an O because of pitching of the Cubs, probably mostly Bruce Sutter. That's the reason why they won. I mean, Kingman hit 48 home runs in 1979. That was a big part of it. Billy Buckner was Billy Buckner self, base hit after base hit. And then there was Bruce Sutter. If you had a lead, if they could get a lead in the 7th or 8th inning, they just put in Sutter and he was unhittable. And that's how they won their game. That was a recipe for the Cubs' success. So now we take in the account of the home field factor. Dodger Stadium in 1979 is an O/1. O is for a home team, and on the right of the slash is for the away team. So the home team has 0, so they stay in O. They don't move. 0 means you don't move a muscle. So, and the Cubs are N, and they have a 1. Does that mean they go up 1? No, sorry, Cub fans. They don't go up 1. They go down 1. That's anything on the right side of the slash is for the away team. If it was -1, they would go up 1. You subtract this number. If you subtract -1, it becomes +1 for you math whizzes out there. So N goes to M. So you can see yesterday it was M-O like it is today, and the Cubs lost 4-2. Let's hope that the outcome is better for their pennant chances. So we go to the scoring chart, and we look at M. So they dropped so far, we have to go to the kitty chart on A to M. So we take our handy dandy dice. We go to 2D6s, And we roll the dice and we hope it's high. We hope for a 66. But we won't count on it. Here's the roll. 25. That's no 66. But fortunately, that's the first 3. So if it had been 24, it would have been only 2 runs, but they got 3. So they still have a chance. Somewhat of a chance. So they have 3 runs. Now we roll for the Dodgers. We go to the big boy chart in the N to Z. And we go to the O. And we hope for a 32 or less. Ideal would be a 21 or less, but we'll take a 32 or less. That would be a tie game. Tie games are a lot more exciting anyway, right? So let's hope for a 32 or less. Here is the roll. It's a 12. 12 is a 1. Cubs win. Cubs win. Cubs win. Holy cow. The Cubs pulled out a victory. 3-1. And so they get a away. This is on Los Angeles. Sorry. So you go on home loss for the Dodgers. They scored only 1 run. They allowed 3. The loser or the winner of this game is Russell. Big Daddy gets the win. He only allows 1 run in the game. Russell. That was another secret of success. Yeah, I forgot to mention him. Big Daddy. If he was on the mound, they had a good chance of winning. And the loser is Don Sutton. Okay, so we go, and this is how we determine. So right now, we just keep track of the 5 top guys. We're Davey Lopes, Steve Garvey, Ron Say. I like doing this, putting lines in. It makes it easier to see. Makes a simple guy like me able to see things clearer. And, I don't have the greatest eyesight, so there we go. So Davey Lopes, Steve Garvey, Ron Say, Dusty Baker, and Joe Ferguson are the 5 guys that we are looking after. And then everybody else is other. So as you imagine, other is the best player on each team. So see, here are the totals. And I did look up everybody at this point. I took the time for you guys because I care about you guys. You probably say, well, yeah, it's, what did they hit at the time of the start of the replay? Well, Davey Lopes on the September 1st had 27 home runs and 65 RBIs. Garvey, who had an RBI yesterday, now has 23. 87. Ron Say had a home run, a 2-run shot yesterday, so he has 25-70. If you go down to the bottom, 25-70. And Baker's 20-80 and Ferguson 18-63. So now we're going to roll for, and we only have to roll 1 run because that's all they had. So the first thing you try to see, you go to the D10 with 3 dice. And the Dodgers scored 183 home runs, or hit 183 home runs, out of 739 runs. They had a Guillen number. Check out, I'm not going to explain what a Guillen number is, but this is the percent, well, maybe I will explain it. This is the percentage of their runs that came from a home run. And that was named after, of course, Ozzie Guillen of those White Sox teams of the 2000s, who had a very high percentage of his runs via the home run in those days. So the Dodgers have 40% of their runs come as a direct result of a home run. Because they hit 183 home runs out of 739 runs, the roll is 24.8% of the runs came from a home run. So just to see, first we determine if they hit a home run, then we determine what type of a home run, and that determines how many runs are attributed to the home run. It'll get clear. And of course, because I do a video, my phone has to go off. But we will ignore it. So we're going to see, first of all, if this is a home run. 248 or less is a home run. Here is the roll for the Dodgers. 911. Call 911 because it's no home run. So 248 is, here for your math, 911 is higher than 248, so there's no home run. So who got the RBI? So if the roll is, we roll again. If it's 001 to 102, it's Lopes. From 102 or 103 to 257, it's Garvey, so on and so on. If it's over 590, it goes to other. Here is the roll. 778. It's your mother from a different brother, or no, brother from a different mother. That's the way it goes. It's the other. So that's all. They got 1 run. It was hit by, they're driven in by other. So we go now to the Cubs, the victorious Chicago Cubs. That's what we love to say. That's what we love to hear. We go to the Cubbies. They're over here. We bring forth the news. Hail, Chicago, you win. They get a home win, or away win, sorry. And they scored 3 runs, and they gave up 1 run. The winner is Big Daddy. And the Cubs know who that is, so I'll just put, not Big Batty, but Big Daddy. And the loser is Don Sutton. Now we roll for the Cubs to see. Right now, at this point, we already said that Kingman had 48 home runs. But at this point in the schedule, he had 41. So he has to get 7 home runs in the last month here to equal his real-life total. Cubs, key number is 30, so 30% of their 706 runs were direct result of the home run. They hit 135 home runs, which is a percentage of 19.1%. So let's see if run number 1 was via the homer. It is, because this, you say, that's 10. No, this is a 0. So that 10s are treated like 0, so 0.58. It was a home run. Now, because they have 3 runs to account for, it's a possibility that's a solo shot, a 2-run homer, or a 3-run homer. If they roll up to 548, it's a solo shot. From 549 to 881, it's a 2-run shot. And anything higher than 881 is a 3-run shot. It's no possibility of being a grand slam. Even if you roll 1,000, it's not a grand slam because they only have 3 runs to account for. Hope that makes sense. Here is the roll. What kind of home run is it? It is a solo shot. Who hit the home run? Up to 748. These are the 5 guys we're keeping account of. Here is the roll. 939. It's other. So what I should have done is roll for the guy first. It would have been Kingman, and then it would have been 939 would have been a 3-run homer. But this way, it goes to other who hit the home run yesterday. So yes, I forgot to make my lines because I like making lines. Oh no, it's here. So we're making our lines. Format cells. Line here, line there. Now we have our lines. And the home run was hit by Mr. Other. And it was a solo shot. So we have 2 runs left to account for. Here's number 2. Was it a home run? No. Who drove in the run? 149. It was Kingman. Kingman drives in run number 97. Here's number 3. This can only be a solo shot if it's a home run. It is not a home run, and it's 948, which is other. So that's it. The Cubs win 3-1. We go to the next game. Montreal Expos versus Cincinnati Reds from Montreal Olympic Stadium. This is an excellent matchup. Cincinnati is leading the West. I have to hit this there, and they're -2. You can see Montreal has better ratings, however. And the press rating, let's hope we get to the press rating. So what this means is press rating is if the game is tied, you go to a pressure situation. And if it's still tied after that, you go to extra innings. So I'm sure we'll see that at some point. But Cincinnati and Montreal's offenses are very similar. They're both O. Montreal has better pitching staff, though. So Cincinnati goes down 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. They're a K. And Montreal starts at O, and they go down. Pitching staff of Cincinnati is a -2, so they go from an O to an M. All right. Then we take an account Olympic Stadium. Olympic Stadium does nothing for Montreal. That makes sense, right? So they get an O still, but it does hinder the opposition. So they go from K to J. And those are the final ratings. Cincinnati J, Montreal O. So we go to our chart. Once again, we go to the little boy chart of J. And we roll for Cincinnati. We change it back to D6. We roll 2 dice on D6. And we roll for J. Here's the roll. It's a 25. 25, 2 runs for Cincinnati. Here's 2 runs for Cincinnati. We go to the Montreal O. The big O in Montreal. We bring up the O chart. We go to the big boy chart, and it's O. We go down here. So what Cincinnati's hoping for, 2 runs, that's all they scored. They're hoping for a 21 or less from Montreal in order for this game to continue. Otherwise, the game is over if it's 22 or higher. Here's the roll. 14. 14 is 2. So we do have our first pressure situation. They both have 2 runs. So now we go to a different chart. It's called the pressure chart. Pressure chart. And that's where these pressure ratings come in. Cincinnati's pressure, the better you do in 1-run games is the higher the pressure chart. So Cincinnati has a J and Montreal has an L. So first, in this case, we do roll the J first. The visiting team rolls first. That's hockey. We roll the home team first. And in football, we roll the home team first. But in baseball, we roll the visiting team first. So you got to keep these things straight, It's not easy. So it's a J for Cincinnati. So we go here. Now, basically how it works, we roll 2 dice, and if they get 44 or higher, they get an X. An X is good in this case for Cincinnati. Here is the roll. 24. It is blank. So they don't score in the 9th, the top of the 9th. So we go to the bottom of the 9th, and Montreal has an L. So we go to the L chart, and they're a little bit better in pressure situations. 42 is they're the roll that they need. If they roll a 42, they win the game. If not, we're going in extra innings. Here is the roll. 46. 46 is a run scored. Montreal wins by a score of 3-2 in the pressure situation. 2-3. And they win in the bottom of the 9th inning, a walk-off. So they get a home win. They score 3 runs, Cincinnati 2. And in this case, I think, we'll give I think when we go to extra innings, I don't give it to the starters. But in this case, they could pitch easily in those days 9 innings. Seaver and Palmer, you bet your boots they could go 9 innings. So the winner is Palmer, the loser is Seaver. So we're going to go and we are going to go to Cincinnati and tell them the bad news. Hey, you guys, you lost. And Houston is nipping at your toes here, or heels. So they get the loss again. They score 2 runs and they give up 4. The winner is David Palmer, and the loser is Tom Terrific. So now we're going to roll for their runs. Roll for the Cincinnati runs. And we got to make our lines. Make our lines here. This is an exciting video when I make my lines. I'm sure you're very excited about that. Man, it looks so much better. I can know where to put the numbers in. All right, we're going to roll for Cincinnati. D10, 3 dice. So their Guillen number is 27.6. Their roll number is 181. So 181 and less, it is a home run. Here's roll number 1 for the first run. It is a 506. It's not a home run. Who drove in the run? It's 606 or less for one of our 5 guys. George Foster, Johnny Bench, Dan Dreesen, Dave Concepcion, and Ray Knight. It is 676. It's other. I'm as disappointed as you. Okay, then we go to the second roll. Is this a home run? No. Who hit the ball? 557. That is Ray Knight. Ray Knight drove in. He had a home run yesterday, and he drove in a run today. And now the third run. No, that's it. They only had 2, so that's it for Cincinnati. I was thinking the score was 4-3, but it's 3-2. So Ray Knight and other drove in the runs for Cincinnati. We go back to Montreal, where we will roll the dice for their 3 runs. First of all, we make our lines. I know I'll do this offline in the future, but for today we will do this. Okay, so we're rolling for roll number 1. They have to roll 2 or 4. 204s. They will hit 143 runs or home runs out of 701 total runs. Here is their roll. 2 or 4 or less. It is not. Here is the RBI roll. 280. That is RBI 267 is Dawson. So it is Gary Carter. Gary Carter, the kid, drives in the first run. Now this one, because we were a 2-2 tie going the 9th inning, we know that the final run was a 1 run. So this cannot be a 2-run homer, even though there's 2 runs available. So this is maximum a solo shot here if we hit a home run. And the number is 019. It is a home run, but it's only a solo shot. Let's see who hit it. 766. Ooh, barely in there with Tony Perez. Tony Perez gets credit for the home run. If it was 777, it would have been other, but thankfully it wasn't. And Tony Perez gets the solo shot. Now, here is how the winning run in the bottom of the ninth was scored. Was it a home run? No. Did one of our fabulous five get the RBI, drive in, walk off? 781. No, it wasn't. We don't know who it was because it's other. But we put other, we highlighted in yellow. We just know that the walk-off RBI in the bottom of the ninth was hit by somebody else. That's all we know. So Montreal, now they go up in the standings. They're now a record of 73-54. And now we're going to go to Pittsburgh. But they're on the road, so we're going to go to San Francisco. And we are going to play game 2. Pittsburgh won 1-0 in yesterday's game. They're Q -3, and their pressure number is L. The Giants are definitely at disadvantage, even though they're at home. Okay, so Pittsburgh is Q. They don't move because the pitching staff of San Francisco is very average, so they remain a Q. San Francisco starts at N, but Pittsburgh's fabulous pitching staff, especially that Tekulve, and I have to admit, when I was a kid, little kids, this is the kind of thing that means something. I just loved Kent Tekulve. Even though he was on the other team, I was an Expo fan, but I love Tekulve because, he was a interesting looking dude, wasn't he? He was a tall, string bean, goofy looking guy. He looked like some accountant, but he was tall and very skinny, and he threw the sidearm submarine pitcher. I must have thrown, when people throw practice, you emulate your heroes, right? I always threw like Kent Tekulve or Quisenberry or like that. Anyway, San Francisco goes from N-3 down to K because of the great pitching staff of the Pirates. Okay, now, so Candlestick Park, very much a pitcher's park, does nothing for the home team. They remain a K, but it hurts the Pirates. They go from a Q to a P. So here we go. We're going to roll for first of all, the visiting team, the visiting Pittsburgh Pirates on P. We have to go to the right chart. There's the extra innings chart. Here's the scoring chart for P. Here is the P. We've got to get back to the D and go 2. Here is, yesterday they rolled a 12, as you can see. So here's the roll today. It is a 22. 22 is 3 runs for the Pirates. Pirates score 3, and let's see what the Giants can do on K. K is on the little boy chart. And we're going to... So they have to roll 3, so they have to roll at least a 26 or higher. 26 or higher. The Expos are hoping for a 52 or higher, but the Giants are hoping for at least a 26 or higher. Here is the roll. 65! 65 is 7 runs for the Giants. The Giants win this one 7-3. And the Expos are cheering big time. So San Francisco gets a home win. They scored 7 runs and allowed 3. The winning pitcher is Count Montefusco. Montefusco gets the win, and Bruce KISN gets the loss. Okay, we will take our information back to Pittsburgh and tell them, hey guys, sorry, but you lost. And it's a away loss. They scored 3 runs and they gave up 7. So we go to our standings and we see now Montreal is only 2 games back. They were tied in the loss column, but Pittsburgh now has lost but they've played so many more games than Montreal. They're 5 behind in the win column, but they're ahead on the loss column by 1, so they're only 2 games back. This is up to date, ladies and gentlemen. Look at this one. We have a tie. Houston, they are going to play next, and they could go into first place. That's going to be our final game of baseball today. But first, we're going to roll for the runs. Let's see how the Pirates scored their runs. The guys we're looking after: Willie Stargell, Dave Parker, Bill Robinson, John Milner, and Phil Gardner. We're going to get our lines. Okay. And we're going to roll now. Pittsburgh has a number of... We don't need this. We're going to knock this down. They love putting like 500 decimal points. Okay, we're going to change it back to that. We don't need all those decimal points. All right. 191 is the Pirate number for a home run. We go to the D. We go to 3. Here is roll number 1 for run number 1. 083. It's a home run. What? Okay. Should we roll the guy first? I don't know. It doesn't really matter. Okay. Who hit the home run? 065. It is Willie Stargell. Willie Stargell hit the home run. Now, what kind of home run is it? There's 3 runs to account for. So it could be a solo shot. It could be a 2-run shot if he rolls over 574. If he rolls over 912, it is a 3-run shot. It is a 759. It is a 2-run homer for Willie Stargell. And that is home run number 25 and RBI number 66 for the Pops. And now we're going to roll for the 3rd run. And if it is a home run, it can be maximum a solo shot. Here is the roll. 536. It's a regular run. Who hit it? 300. 300 is Bill Robinson. So no other today. That always makes me feel good when it's not other. So there it is. You can look down here. Stargell's now 2566. And Robinson he homered yesterday. And he's got 66 RBIs as well. Now we go to the victorious San Francisco Giants. And they have 7 runs to account for. For the winner, Count Montefusco. All right, so we're going to roll for roll number 1. Their roll is 186 for a home run. Roll number 1. It is a home run, 005. Who hit the home run? 683. 683 is not Willie McCovey. I was hoping for him at 6. If it was 680, it would have been Willie. But it's Bill Madlock hit the home run. His 7th of the season. And it can be a grand slam because they have 7 runs to account for. Let's see what kind of home run it is. It is a solo shot because it was less than 656. So it's a solo shot for Bill Madlock. Let's roll for run number 2. It's not a home run. 326. It is Darrell Evans. One of the most underrated players in history of baseball. IMO, in my opinion. Okay, and roll number 3. It is a home run. Who hit it? We got better luck with that. Who hit the home run? 122. It is Mike Ivey. Mike Ivey hit the home run. And what kind of home run? It can be a grand slam because this is only the 3rd run. And they have 7 to account for. Here is the roll. 7-11. It is a 2-run shot for Mike Ivey. So now we've counted for 4 runs. Here's run number 5. That's not a home run. 284. That is Jack Clark. Jack Clark drives in his first run of the replay. He's got 87 on the season. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is roll number 6. We have 2 more runs to account for. It's not a home run. And it's 029. It's another one for Mike Ivey. He's got 3 RBIs today. And here's the last roll. The last roll is not a home run. And it's 563. 563 is Bill Madlock. So no others. So we have 3 RBIs for Mike Ivey, 1 for Clark, 1 for Evans, and 2 with a home run for Madlock. And the Giants win it 7-3. Now we promised you the last game. The surprise Cinderella Houston Astros facing the New York Mets. You know how bad the Houston offense is? Well, I don't think they had a single guy to hit 10 home runs that season. That's the first thing, indication. The second thing is that they have the same offense as the Mets. So that should tell you all you need to know. But they have an amazing -4 pitching staff. And they have great pressure. They win well in one-run games. That's their modus operandi. However, they won in one-run game in game 1 of our replay. And they hit 49 homers the entire season. But they had 2 homers, lucky rolls. They have to roll 84 or less. And they had 2 of them yesterday's game, which was amazing when you only hit 49 the entire season. Anyway, I doubt if they'll hit 2 today. So, Mets, if I can just go by this, it's the same ratings as yesterday, but I want to explain it to you folks. Mets, L, -4, L, K, J, I, H. To start off with, they have an H rating. Houston starts off at L, they go down -1. They go down to a K. Then we take the home field advantage. Of course, the Astrodome doesn't help Houston, but it takes away from the visitors. So it's K, and they go down to a G, which is, I think, the lowest rating we've had so far today. So now we roll for the little boy chart. Go to G for the Mets. Way down, we go to D, and we go to 2. Here is the G. We roll 45. That's a decent roll. They get 3 runs. That's what they scored yesterday, too. So Houston has their work cut out for them. They have to roll at least 3 runs here to have a chance to win. And they're rolling on K. So they have to roll at least 26 or higher. Here is their roll. 25. Oh, they lost by 1. They lost to the Mets by a score of 3-2. They had a chance to go into first place, and they did not take advantage of it. So the Mets get we don't do it in this when we go on theirs, but they have a home loss, and they choked on the roll. They rolled 2, 3. So now we go and tell those Met fans and the Queens that they won the game by a score of 3-2, and they get a away win. And they scored 3 and gave up 2. The winning pitcher is Pete Falcone. And look who lost. I can't believe he lost. J.R. Richard lost the game. That is a total bummer. All right, we're going to roll for their 3 runs for the Mets. I'll get this over here. Come on, let's go over. Okay, we roll our lines. And there we go. So we're going to roll for 3 runs for the Mets. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. I meant to do this one. Okay, 3 roll. We go to D, 10, 3. And now their roll is, they only had 74 home runs as well. Not a big powerhouse team. They only scored 593 runs. Here is their roll. 578, 478 is way over. So let's see if we have to roll 618 or less to avoid other. 194. That is Richie Hebner. Gets the first RBI. That's number 59 for Hebner. Here's number 2. Is it a home run? Nope. And it's 082, so it's Lee Mazzilli has an RBI. And the last one, the winning run, it's not a homer, and it's 077. It's also Lee Mazzilli. So Mazzilli is the hero. He drove in 2 of the 3 Met runs as they win. And poor Houston loses their ace on the mound. I am kind of choked about that. I love J.R. Richard. All right. But they did not get him the run support today. They run for 2. They have to roll a 84 or less to get a home run. First one is over, and it's a 136, so that's Enos Cabell, because it's higher than 133. It would have been Jose Cruz. So that's run number 1, and the last one It is not a home run, and it's 164, and that's Enos Cabell again. He drove in both runs, but the Astros lose. So that is baseball. Now we're going to talk a little bit. I'm going to just take a chug here. I'm going to talk a little bit about college football. When I went to New York and I met with those the commissioners, and I talked about the director of the NCAA, Mr. I called him Walt. Was it Walt Myers, Walt Avery? His name escapes me. And but I sat down with, I took him aside after the meeting, and I said, Walt, my people back in Tuktoyaktuk, there's too many games in college football and college basketball. They love football, they love basketball, but they're not going to watch Southeast Arizona Valley State versus Drake University. They're just not going to watch that game. So what we're going to do, like I'm the king telling him what to do. He's the director of the NCAA. People have been crying for, let me put it this way, Walt. They love your 64-team tournament in college basketball. They love it. People eat that up. They don't watch college basketball all year, but when that tournament comes, they watch. Especially this last year when they had Larry Bird and Magic Johnson. It was the highest rated Final Four final game. I think to this day was number one. Highest rated final game in the history of NCAA. That was just this past year. So what we're going to do, Mr. Myers, Avery, Walt, is we are going to have a same thing for college football. We're going to have a 64-team tournament for college football. We're going to pick the top 64 teams based on Football References, simple rating system, and the other 65 to 6,000 teams, or how many there are, they can go and play on their own, do whatever they want to do. All the power to them. But those 64 teams are the ones that are going to be on the King Icheboo Sports Network. We're going to have a 64-team tournament. We're going to rank them, seed them, and we're going to play off. We're going to, another interesting thing, because our game is so based on home field advantage. Home field is such an important part of the Downey college football system that we're going to do. We want to make, we don't want to just give the higher seed the home game. We're going to play this like the Champions League in Europe. We're going to have a 2-game series. We're going to play one game in the lower seeds field first and the higher seeds field second. And we're going to have a 2-game total point series. And if there's a tie, it'll go to the team that scores most on the road. That's what we're going to try. We're going to try this. And for 1979 season, if it's totally pathetic, when 1980 comes, we won't do it. We'll just go to a basic, neutral ground. But the home field is such an important part. I wanted to include the home field advantage. So he agreed, and that's what we're going to do. And that's all. We're not going to start yet. We're going to probably start in October. We're going to start because, 64 teams, we want to go around New Year's Day and have the Rose Bowl and all that stuff. So we're going to start, I think, in October. I'm going to figure out exactly when, but the first month there won't be any college football. Sorry, college football fans. So what are we going to do? We're going to have a very special event now. Very special event for those of you who stuck around. I'm going to bring it up. I didn't have it loaded. Can you believe that? We're going to play some boxing. I know some of you guys out there love boxing. We're going to play some heavyweight boxing. I don't want to do this. Okay. Anyway. Now, the heavyweight division in the 70s, it was the glory time for the heavyweight division. Ali, Foreman, Norton, Frazier. My favorite was Frazier. I have to admit it. So many great heavyweights. But by the time 79 came, they were getting old. Some had already retired. George Foreman got divorced this weekend. I remember reading. So he was a little distracted. Ali was still fighting, but he was not himself. Of course, he lost to Larry Holmes in that sham of a fight. But we will have a championship bout here today. Because I mentioned the number one movie in America this weekend was Alien. But the number one movie throughout the summer was a boxing movie. So we're going to have the Hollywood Heavyweight Championship of the World. That's what we're going to do for our final event of the first day of the King Icheboo Sports Network. We are going to play, yes, Rocky Balboa versus Apollo Creed. This is Rocky 2. Rocky 2 came out in about June 15th, 1979, and it was a huge hit throughout the summer. Now we're at the end of summer, and we are going to fight it ourselves on the King Icheboo Sports Network. We're going to use the main event boxing system. It is complicated. You can see this is only the first set of charts. The charts go out to here. The charts go down to here. The charts go all the way over here. This is one fun but complicated game, and that's what we're going to do. We're going to get to it. We're not going to explain. We're going to explain how it goes along. First of all, we're going to talk about the red corner fighter Rocky Balboa. Here's what they're rated on. They get a base points. You can see that Apollo Creed had a higher base point than Rocky Balboa. I didn't make these ratings, okay? This is from the game. So take it up with them if you disagree. But Apollo Creed, every round, has a 3-point advantage over Rocky Balboa. They have equal power. The highest power, you can see on the power chart, goes from A to J. They both had tremendous power. You can't get more power than A. Defense, however, is something to be desired. And it's realistic. Balboa, do you think he had any defense whatsoever? He was getting hit. I don't think he blocked a single punch. His face was his defense. His rock-hard face. Taking all those blows, that's the only defense that he had. So he could have been even rated lower. There is an F, but they were gracious enough to give him a D because he got hit every time. His knockdown rating, and Apollo Creed, he was a little bit better in that he didn't get hit until, probably in the later rounds. Then he got hit all the time too. The knockdown rating is a 3. Now you think, well, that's not very good. And I think they're being gracious here too, because how many times in these fights did Balboa get knocked down? He got knocked down over and over again. Very dramatic, of course, getting knocked down. So, of course, the movie had him get knocked down several times. So, to be only 3 of 10 on the knockdown chart is very gracious. However, the KO rating. So, this is the rating to get how many times you get knocked down. The knockout rating, you go down. If you have a low knockout rating, that means you're not getting up. Balboa always got up. We know that. So the 1 is very realistic, is a 1 for both fighters. TKO, I don't know why this is not centered. That bothers me. There we go. TKO, what is the least dramatic thing for a movie? Would be a TKO, wouldn't it? Very real. There's no way that these fighters they're going to win on a knockout. They're going to win on some crazy knockout. If you remember, you saw this movie, you remember how the knockout happened. Craziness. They're not going to get TKO'd. So they have both of an A rating TKO. It could be double A. Double A is even harder to get a TKO. But it's very hard with an A. So that's an A. The cut rating. Apollo Creed was too pretty. He didn't get cut. But we all know Balboa basically was, they call it when you get bleed. Those blue blood, they bleed on every little thing. He bled and bled and bled. So it was probably generous giving him a C for the cut. Cut chart here, it's still bad rating, but, it could have been worse. Endurance, they both have 10, so they don't start getting tired until the 11th round. And fouls, Apollo Creed was a cleaner fighter than Balboa, according to the charts. So we're just going to play this, and you'll see how it's done. It's not blow-by-blow boxing simulation, but it is a round-by-round simulation, okay? So it is possible. And we saw at the end of this movie, both the guys went down at the same time. So this is not unrealistic. You can have both fighters emulate Rocky 2 and both get knocked out in the same round. It can happen. And you can, when we see the knockouts, we can see how. So it's not, Rocky 2 is not unrealistic when it comes to this game. Anyway, we'll see. We'll just show you. So first thing we're rolling, we're in round 1, and we roll on the defense of the opposing fighter. So we're rolling. We always roll for Balboa. Now, I debated much who should be the favorite, and I actually rolled because I wanted to be fair, but when I practiced this, because this is only the third game I've played of this, so I want to, I want to be competent. I want to show this game well because it deserves it. But I debated who should be the favorite. It is important who's the favorite, and I went with Rocky Balboa because Rocky 1. I don't think anybody's listening to this hasn't seen Rocky 1, so I don't think it's a spoiler to say that Rocky loses the fight. But do you think when they have Rocky 2 that there was any chance that Rocky would lose Rocky 2? There was absolutely no chance of it. That's why I gave him the favorite. Okay, he's the favorite because this is Rocky 2 and there's no hope of Apollo winning this fight in the movies. So that's why I did that. That's my rationale. If you disagree with that, then you can put it in the comments. But we are going to go now and start this game. Once again, I want to have it centered because I'm anal like that. Okay, we're going to roll now for Rocky Balboa, and the defense on Apollo is C. So therefore, we're rolling on the C chart for defense. So here is Balboa's first roll, 2 D10s. It is a 65. We go to 65. It is a bad round for Balboa. It was a -3. So we put a -3 here, and that's realistic. He always started off bad. He never fought from being ahead. He always came from behind. So 12 is his score. Then we roll for Creed. 2 dice on the D chart because that is Balboa's chart. You can see there's a lot of bad stuff on here for Balboa. Here is the roll. 1, 0. It is a cut. So Creed has a chance right now to cut Balboa. And we've already talked about it. He is a guy easy to cut. So we go on the C on the cut table. And basically, if we roll a 0-1, he has a major cut. If it is 2 to 62, it is no cut. And if it's 63 to 99, it is a letter cut. And 100 is a major cut. So let's see what the roll is. It is a 71. 71 is a C cut. So right in the first round, Balboa is cut. And we go to the chart, the cut chart, and he's cut on the bridge of the nose. 1 point. What that point is once you get, let's see if I have this up. Okay, nose. Once he gets 5 points on the nose, 5 cut points, the fight is stopped by the referee. Okay? He is bleeding so profusely that the referee stops the fight. But that's only 1 point. So he only has 1 point of bleeding on his nose. So nosebleed, 1 point. Okay, now when... Oh, I should have brought... Let's see. Yeah, I didn't... I got to bring the chart up. Because how many points does he get? I have to... Let's bring that up. Main event boxing rules. Like I said, it's my third fight, and I don't know all the rules yet, but I know when he gets a cut, okay, most of the time it would feel a 1 or 2 point cut. Anytime a fighter reaches, cut chart, yeah. Okay, if the boxer does score a cut or causes swelling on his opponent, award him 5 points plus his round points. So that's what I need to know. So We already talked about Balboa being -3. Creed gets 5 points. So he gets 23 points. So the advantage is 11 for Creed. Where that matters is we go down to the judges' scoring chart. We have 3 judges, judge number 1, judge number 2, and judge number 3. And we roll our dice. Now, in the future, I might give these guys names. Manucci, Santucci, and Cordione. So they're usually Italian, right? So, judges seem to be. So, I didn't give them names for this one, but they could. So we roll to 3 10-sided die. Now, our difference, just to remind you, is 11. So that means we look at this chart. And there's no hope for Balboa here. He's going to lose. The only question is, will he lose a 10-8 or a 10-9? We roll the 3 dice. Look at this. 9-0-0. Okay. So we're on this. So 9 is the first judge says that was all Creed. So he rules it. He judges it a 10-8. The other ones are just high, 0-0. So they are 9 for Balboa, 10 for Creed. But clearly, very realistically, Creed jumps out to an early lead. 10-9, 10-9, 10-8. So we're done. That's how you play the round. We're done with round 1. We go to round 2. Hopefully I'll do less explaining and more playing. But you'll get the hang of this if you haven't already. You guys are brilliant people. So you know what's going on now. We roll for Balboa. 55. 55 on the C is power. We have our first power check. Now, we already talked about Balboa having A power. That is the max. I don't know about you, but I'd be lucky to have a J power. But Balboa is A power. What that means is now a roll of 1 to 90 knocks has a K. Okay? We roll for the K. So that means he has a possibility of being knocked down. That's what that means. We roll this. So it's a power punch for Balboa. Here is the roll. It is 04. It is a K. We go to the knockdown chart. Knockdown chart is a 3 for Creed. So we look at 3. Scroll over a little bit here. Now, we want to ask, is he knocked down? He is not down. He is thinking about going down. He has a possibility of him going down. But, so, how it rolls on a 3, 1 to 30 is he goes down. He gets knocked down. If you roll a 31 to 60, Balboa gets 5 points. And if you roll 61 to 0, he gets 10 points. So this is definitely going to be a much better round for Balboa. Either he knocks him down or he gets nice high points. So here's the roll. 57. 57 is 5 points for Balboa. He doesn't knock him down. He weebles, but he doesn't fall down. So 5 points. He wobbles. Weebles wobble, but they don't fall down. So he gets 5 points, and he has 20 points for the round. Now we go to Creed. He rolls on the D. We're not playing baseball. Here we go. This is what I want. Okay, we're rolling on D. Here's the roll. 9. No, it's not 9. It's 54. 54 on D is -2. So it was a really bad round for Creed. So he only has 16. So the advantage for Balboa is 4. And I've played 2 games with this, and I think that's the highest advantage he's had. All right, so we go to the scoring chart. We look at this one. And now we roll the judges again. We go to 3 dice. We roll the judges. 9, 2, 6. It's on 4. 9 goes to the low guy. So judge number 1, who judged it 10-8 Creed, even though clearly Balboa had the better round, he's like blind, or he's got Apollo Creed t-shirt or fan club or something, but he gives the round to Creed regardless. of the advantage. So he has it 20-17, 3 rounds different for Creed. But the other two guys, the guys who have actual eyesight, 2 high. So he gives that one to Balboa, 10-9. And he has a draw right now, 19-19. And the third judge, Bonaducci, that's what we'll call him, Judge Bonaducci, he has it 6. 6 is for the favorite. See, that's the importance of declaring the favorite at the beginning of fight. We declare that Balboa is the favorite, so he gets Judge Bonaducci's favorite. Well, that's 6. 9. So these two judges that have eyesight have the fight even, but this guy who has Apollo Creed underwear has Creed up by 3 rounds already. So we go now. So we can put here a K check and no fall. I don't know. We can call it anything. Okay, we go to the third round. 1 dice down to 2. And we roll on C for Balboa. Here's the roll. 15. 15 is a cut check. His cut is an A. So we go to the cut table. And we're rolling for a 71. Either a 01 or 71 higher. Here is the roll. 53. No cut. So all he gets is his base. So he had a chance of cutting him, but he did not cut him. Oh, that's not right. It's a 0. That'd be a 30. Oop. On the wrong column. There we go. And we'll take this one away. So he'll probably score higher than 0. All right, so no cut on Creed. So we can write that. Creed had a cut check. Creed cut check. Fail. Okay. We want to put as many details as you want so you can remember this fight for years to come. Okay, we go roll on D. Here's the roll for Creed. It is a 12. He also has a cut check. Now remember, he already has a bleeding nose. So we go down to the cut table and we'll see he's going for that nose. He's pounding the nose, hoping to increase the cut. Here's the roll. 54. No cut. So he just gets his base. He hits the nose, but is unsuccessful in increasing the cut. So he gets his base 18, so he has advantage 3. We go down to the 3 chart. We look at this column, and we roll 3 die for the 3 judges. Minucci, Bartucci, and Beneducci. No, what's in the... I forget their names. It's Martini, and Bonaducci. Martini, Bonaducci, and Linguini. I forget already. Oh, Italian names give me so much trouble. Sorry, Al. Anyway, here we go. Roll the dice. 6, 3, 2. So we look on this chart. 6 goes to the low guy. So the guy who's favored Apollo Creed this entire fight rules this one for Balboa. And we go to the second dice. And we roll that one. Oh, no, we had it already. Okay, well, we'll go with this. 8 is for the favorite. Sorry, I should have ran it. I get click happy. Okay. And the third one is 1. So that one goes to Creed. 9-10. So here is the scoring. Judge 1, Martini, has a 29-27 Creed. And I forgot the guy. Oh, Linguini. So Martini, Linguini, and Bonaducci. So Linguini has it Balboa, because he loves Italians, and Balboa's Italian. Italian Stallion, 29-28 Balboa. And Bonaducci has it 29-28. So we should write these names so I can remember. This one's Martini. And this one is Linguini. and this one is Bonaducci. Bonaducci. That's probably not how you spell it, but that's how I spell it. Okay, so we are through 3 rounds. And now we go to the 4th round. Things aren't going very fast, so I got to speed things up. Go down to 2. And 47. 47 for Balboa. 47 is a 3. Not bad. Not bad for Balboa. He has 18 points for the round. And now we go to Creed. I obviously I'm cheering for, everybody cheers for Balboa, right? So I'm nervous because this is such a bad defensive chart. 78. 78 is power. 78, his first power of the day. 90% chance of a possible knockdown. Here is the roll. 49, it is a possible knockdown. We go to the 3 chart, he's a 3. If it's 1 to 30, he goes down. If it's 41 to 70, he gets 5 points. 71 to 100, he gets 10. 98, he gets 10 points. A furious round for Apollo Creed. He's got 28 points. So if you look, this is where the TKO chart comes in. If he was a TKO B, this fight would be over. I hate to break it to you, but it'd be over because he exceeds 28 is higher than 25, and the gap between the fighters is 10 or more, the fight would be over. But because he's a TKO right here, it saves the fight because he had to get 30. So he has a 10-point lead for the judging, but he does not get the TKO. I think that's how most of these fights end, if I had to guess. You know, when you have Mike Tyson versus Danny Smith or whatever those early fights were that last like 15 seconds. I think that's how it happens. Anyway, we got 10-point favorites. We go to this chart. The only way that anybody can rule for Balboa in this round is if he rolls a 9. So here is the roll. Any 9s? No, they're all Creed all the time. 9, 10. 9, 10. 9, 10. Here are the scores after 4 rounds. Martini has it 39-36, Creed. Linguini has it 38-38 draw. And Bonaducci has it 39-37, Creed. So Creed is definitely up going into the 5th round. Here is round number 5. Let's see if already he's falling behind. Let's see if Balboa can get a couple knockdowns to get him back in this match. 62 is the roll. 62 is 0. That's not the way to do it. 0 for Balboa. Here's the roll for Creed. Are you nervous? I'm nervous. 92. 92 is 2. 2. So this round is scored 20 to 15. It's a 5-point gap for Creed. We go down to the judges' table and we look at this chart. You can see how the flow of this match goes now. We're getting more into the flow. Here is the roll. 481. 4 is high. 8 is low. And 1 is high. So Martini, he rules it for Creed. Linguini rules it for Balboa. And Bonaducci rules it for Creed. So Martini has Creed up by 4 rounds. Bonaducci has Creed up by 3 rounds. And Linguini has Balboa up by 1 round. We go to the 6th round. 6th round, we roll on C. Here we get the dice down to 2. Here's the roll. 96. 96 is power. That's what we need. It's a good round for Balboa. Will he knock him down or have a chance of knocking him down? Here's the roll. 16. There is a chance. You're saying there's a chance, and there is a chance. We go to the 3. Will he knock him down? 30 or less. 72. That's not less. So he gets 10 points, though, for the round. Very good round for Balboa. Now let's see if we can save him here. Let's see what he rolls. He rolls a 36. 36 is a 1 on the D. So he only gets 1. So a very good round for Balboa. 25 points for Balboa. 19. That's a gap of 6 in the favor of Balboa. So we go down to the judges' chart. This will get him closer, hopefully, if the rolls are good. We roll in the 6. And the rolls are 2, 3, 8 on the 6. 2. Martini has it. Balboa, 10-9. Linguini. Linguini has it. 3. That is Balboa. 10-9. Here is Bonaducci. That one I'm not sure about. It's an 8. 8 is low. He gives it to Creed, even though Creed almost goes down. He is a big... Bonaducci is the biggest Creed fan. He has him 4 rounds ahead. Martini has him 3 rounds ahead. And Linguini has Balboa up 2 rounds. We go to the 7th round. And we roll once again on Balboa. On the column C. Here is the roll. 92. 92 is 5. A good round for Balboa. Let's roll on Creed. Creed on the D. Here is his roll. 60. 60 is a 0. 0 for Creed. He has 18 points. And Balboa has 20. Advantage Balboa for 2 points. Go down to the judges' scorecard. Up 1. And here's the rolls. 0, 4, 8 on the 3. 0 is high. So Martini, once again, for the second round in a row, gives it to Balboa. And Linguini, 4, gives it to Balboa. So it's getting closer. And Bonaducci is a big Creed fan. There's no doubt about it. He loves with arms wide open. 8 on the... It's on the favorite. So it's all 3 Balboa. So even Bonaducci gives it to Balboa. And you can see 2 rounds ahead, 2 rounds behind, 3 rounds ahead, and 3 rounds behind. Go to the 8th round. It's anybody's match at this point. No, we don't want to play baseball. Baseball says, come play with me. No, sorry, it's boxing time. Okay, C. We're in round number 8. Here is the roll. We go down to 2 dice. Here's the roll. It's 53 for Balboa. 53 is another good round. 5. It's not a power, but we'll take it. 20. Let's hope for something not so good for Creed. You know, he's a nice guy and all, but, you know, you gotta cheer for Rocky. Anyway, 46. Maybe you are. Maybe one of those guys that cheers for Creed. It's a power. It's a good round for Creed. Roll on here. It's a 36. Back to 3. Will he go down? 53. 53 is 5 points. Could have been worse, ladies and gentlemen. Could have been worse. 22. Advantage Creed by 2 points. We go to the charts here in round number 8. Round number 8. Here's the rolls. 3. Martini rolls at 3. And the difference is 2. He gives it to Creed. 9. Not plus 9. 9 and 10. Okay, let's see what Linguini does. He's a Balboa fan. 7. 7 is the low guy. He gives it to Balboa. 10-9. He has Balboa way ahead. 4 rounds ahead. And here is Bonaducci. Danny Bonaducci. He rolls a 6. 6 is low. So he gives it to Balboa. So things get a little tighter. 3 rounds ahead. 4 rounds up for Balboa. Or 3 rounds behind. 4 rounds ahead. And 2 rounds ahead now. Or 2 rounds behind. We go on the 9th. It's a very close race. Anybody race. Not a race, but, you know, a match. Very close match. Here we go. Anybody's fight. Here is Balboa rolling on C. 66. Oh, it's a bad one. He was due for a bad one. -3. -3. He has a 12. He has a 12. If Creed can get 30 points here, he'll win. All right, so here we go. We roll on a D. Fans are nervous. Here's the roll, 59. 59 is a 0. Apollo Creed does not take advantage, although he's still up by 6. Go to the judges' chart. Look at this for 6. Roll 3 dice. And here are the rolls. 3, 5, 3. 3, 5, 3. They're all Creed. We'll just do copying. Copying's a wonderful thing, you know. 1. All Creed all the time. So that was all Creed, and it makes it lot definitely 2 judges to 1 in favor of Creed. We go to the 10th round. Getting up there, folks. Getting up there. Rolling on C. Here's the roll. 46. 46 is 2 points for a Balboa. So he has a total of 17. And we roll on Creed. The roll is 1-1. That is a possible cut. He's going for the nose again. What will he get? 37 is unsuccessful. Balboa, when he gets cut, he starts defending, and he actually blocked the nose blows. So he gets his 0. So it's just a slight advantage for Creed in the scoring. Let's see what the judges say. Here's the rolls. 2, 4, 0 on the 3. 2 is Creed. 4 is Creed. They're all Creed again. They're all going. So Creed is opening up his lead even more. We go to the 11th. 11th is when the ratings start to drop. You notice I talked about the endurance. Endurance is 10, so they start dropping. So now the point scoring for Balboa is 14 and Creed is 17. And now the defense for Balboa is F and the defense for Creed is D. And their TKOs both go up too. So everything is getting more scary by the minute for Rocky Balboa. He's rolling. His advantage is he gets a roll on D now. That's about the only advantage he has now that he's getting tired. Here is the roll on D for Rocky Balboa. 66. 66 is power. Now notice here that the... okay, so what goes down? The KD, the knockdown goes down to 4. So if you can get a knockdown, we start rolling on 4 now. So here is the roll. 78. It's a possible knockdown. We go to 4 now. And he's knocked down if we get 1 to 40. Cross your fingers, ladies and gentlemen. 86 is not 40. So 86 is 10 points for Balboa. At least we have that. 24 points for Balboa. Now he's rolling on the F chart. There's so many powers on there. All right, let's avoid the power. Here is the roll for Apollo Creed on F. It's a 14. It's another cut. Cut stays the same. It's still a C. He's going for the nose again. He's going for the nose. 95. That's a cut. 95 is on C is an A. 95 is A. He starts swelling in his left eye. So he gets, remember in the first fight, he got his eye entirely swollen shut. Okay, so... cut on which eye is it? That's important, ladies and gentlemen, which eye it is. It was a 95, was it? 95. Come on. 95. So 95. I'm just trying to determine which eye it was. Left eye. Okay, cut left eye. 1 point in the eye. So he's 1 point of bleeding in the nose and 1 point bleeding in swelling in the eye. So he had a nosebleed right from the beginning. And he gets 5 points for the swelling. So he gets 5. So he gets 22. So Balboa has the advantage in this round. Because he almost knocked him down. So we go to the judges' table for the 11th round. And the 2-point advantage for Balboa. Go to 3 dice. Here's the roll. 5, 5, 9. On the 2. 5, 5, 9. 2. First 2 are for Creed. I guess they were more influenced by the possible cut than they were about the possible knockdown. And so they give, so first 2, 4, or 9. These 2 are the same as these 2. And the third guy, Bonaducci, he is a 9, which he gives it to the favorite. So that one goes to Balboa. But I think he's only, even his judge, Mr. Linguini, he's only 1 round ahead. He's 3 rounds behind here and 6 rounds behind with Martini. All right, so it's 12th round. Oh, and now, you see now, they're both at the worst possible defense. How it works is the defense goes down 1 notch every round after the endurance, and the TKO goes down 1 every second round. And the KD goes down one time, and these scoring numbers go down 1 every round. So now we're rolling 13, 16, FF. So both of them are an F. They're both the same now. That makes me feel better. So here we go, round number 12. Rocky Balboa rolling on F. Here's his roll, 78. 78 is a 2. That's disappointing. We were hoping for power. 2, so his score is his usual, 15. Now we roll for Creed. He's not going to avoid the power. I can feel it. 98. 98 is power. So we roll. Is he going down? 36, possibly. We go to the 4. If we go 1 to 40, he is down. Here is the roll. 22. Balboa goes down. Balboa goes down. We roll again on this one. Okay, so how this works. Now we roll the knockout. Now we look at the knockout. He's a 1. So we go back up here, thankfully. So how it works now is if we roll a 1 to 10, the fight is over. He is knocked out. If it's 11 to 46, he gets up at the 4 count. And if he is 47, he gets up at the 8 count. Regardless, Creed gets 10 points. If he doesn't knock him out, he gets 10 points. Here is the roll. Let's not be 1 to 10. 0-2. 0-2. Balboa knocked out. He is knocked out. Go to the timing chart. Balboa is knocked out. This is not Hollywood, ladies and gentlemen. This is real life. And in real life, Balboa is knocked out. 50. Looked at 50. 2:06 of the 12th round. Rocky Balboa goes down and cannot get up. I guess I gotta type in here. 2 minutes and 6 seconds of the 12th round. Balboa is gone. He is out. He is done. And that is it. That is the fight. Apollo Creed is still Hollywood heavyweight champion of the world. It's not the way Hollywood would write it up, but that's the way it ended up. So that is main bout boxing. Hope you enjoyed it, ladies and gentlemen. And we'll catch you tomorrow. Tomorrow is the beginning of the NFL season. And we'll catch you then. Goodbye, everybody.